Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Glendale Redevelopment Agency meeting of October 30th, 2007 at 2:35. May we have a roll call for agency, please?
Agency members: Draymond.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Weaver. Chairman Yusefian.
Here. Let's have your report, please.
The agenda for the October 30th, 2007 regular meeting of the Glendale Redevelopment Agency was posted on Thursday, October 25, 2007 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. What's next, please?
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Is there a motion?
I'll move the minutes.
Second.
Motion, okay, and a second, and minutes will stay approved as submitted. Next, please.
Next is oral communication.
I have no cards. Oral communication is closed. What's next, please?
Agency member or staff comments or new business.
I hear none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
We're adjourned. Mr. Quintero seconded adjournment.
Now, with regard to housing, Mr. Clerk, our chairman and our vice chairman are absent. Therefore, I nominate Laura Parazian to serve as chair pro tem in their absence.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Do we need a roll call on that?
Unanimous consent.
With affirmation, the meeting is all yours, Madam Chair, Madam Interim Chair, pro tem, whatever they call it.
Interim chair. Pro tem chair.
Start with roll call.
Your microphone. Excellent.
Hi, today is October 30th, and the Housing Authority meeting will starting at 2:36 p.m. So, may I have your roll call, Mr. Clerk?
Authority members: Draymond.
Here.
Mincy. Najarian.
Here.
Quintero. Here. Yusefian.
Here.
Chairman Weaver. Acting Chair Parazian.
Here. Let's have your report.
The agenda for the October 30th, 2007 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, October 25, 2007 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Okay. Is there minutes?
I'll move the minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
What is next?
Next is oral communication. Discussion is limited time, is not part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff through the executive director for investigation and report. There are no cards.
Okay. What is on business agenda?
At 6A is Director of Community Development and Housing regarding development of an affordable multifamily rental housing project located at 328 Miraloma Avenue. 6A1 is a resolution authorizing execution of a First Amendment to the Affordable Housing Agreement between the Glendale Housing Authority and Metro Loma, California Limited Partnership.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Okay.
it is my understanding that this item would like to be postponed. Am I
That's
correct?
We'd like to hold this item. It'll be postponed for a later date.
Okay, so we'll be taken
Thank
off
you.
calendar.
Do you need a motion for that?
No.
No? Okay, thank you.
And second item, please.
At 6B is Director of Community Development and Housing regarding development of an affordable home ownership project located at 331 through 335 and 339 through 343 West Durand Street. At B1 is motion authorizing the Executive Director to execute an exclusive negotiating agreement between the Glendale Housing Authority and Heritage Housing Partners in preparation for an amendment to a previously approved DDA expanding an affordable for-sale housing development at 339 through 343 West Durand Street to include 331 through 335 West Durand Street. At B2 is a resolution authorizing application for the California Housing Finance Agency's residential development loan program for the proposed development.
Yes, Mr. Yusefian.
I would like to move the item on 6B1 and 2.
Second.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call.
Roll call, please. Yeah.
Authority members: Draymond.
Yes.
Mincy, Najarian,
Yes.
Quintero,
Yes.
Yusefian.
Aye.
Chairman Weaver, and Acting Chair Parazian.
And thank you for that, Mr. Clerk. And how about, is there a 30-member and staff comment, please? Yes,
Madam
Mr.
Chair,
Yusefian?
I would like to ask a question from staff. Lately, no matter where I go, whether I'm in Home Depot or I'm at a grocery shop, people come over and ask me the status of those 11 units, that is, what is happening with those Habitat. People are asking me, they turned their applications in, they would like to know how long does Habitat take for them to get back to them?
Mr. Yusefian,
I have no idea.
The 711 through 717 North Kenwood project
Yes.
is the 11-unit Habitat for Humanity project. Recently, the authority executed a DDA with Habitat. That project has started grading in terms of construction, and that part of the grading is being performed by paid professionals. In terms of the family selection, we had an extensive marketing and outreach program. The application period has come and gone. The deadline was, I believe, October 12th, if I'm not mistaken. And since that time, the Family Selection Committee for Habitat has been going through the process of reviewing the applications and has started to whittle down the applications to a second round of screening that they go through. And so that process is expected to take anywhere between another month to possibly even 2 months. They get very involved in their family selection. They actually do site visits as well, and so it's a long process.
So would I be accurate if I let them know that they'll probably hear something by December or
yes.
January? Okay.
Yes, one way or another, whether or not they've been screened out
Or not.
or they're better applicants and they're moving forward with the other applicants,
Okay.
they should be receiving something.
Thank you.
Peter, do you know approximately how many applications they received?
Is it over 100? I think the last time I had heard it was before the closing of the application period, so who knows how many made it in by the deadline. I heard over 100. Judging by the meetings that we had, our informational meetings, we had huge turnouts. The last one, I think almost 400 people attended.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I think we need to let everybody know, the community know, that on November 3rd there is a breakfast for the Habitat for Humanity at St. Mark's Episcopal Church.
That's correct.
I believe. Okay.
And with that, Madam Chair, I would like to move to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you.
This was easy, Laura.
Good job, Laura.
Good job. Fast and easy.
You guys aren't going anywhere, right?
Running a meeting is easy.
You guys have a special meeting?
We have to call
Special
that.
meeting.
I was going to leave. Okay, thank you, Laura.
Take care.
I wanted this to come.
This would be a first, since I've been to be able to leave and come back to
So I'd ask
Oh,
Mr. Mayor?
since I've been.
negative for
don't enjoy it too much.
Yeah.
Well,
So what we
January.
But I wanted, we put it at 2:30 because I wanted you
Yeah, that lightens up.
to speak your piece on that. Okay, I would like to call to order a special meeting of the Glendale City Council, October 30th, 2007. May we have the roll call, please?
Council members Draymond.
Here.
Quintero. Here. Weaver. Yusefian.
Here.
Mayor Najarian.
Here, may we have your report?
The agenda for the October 30th, 2007 special meeting of the Glendale City Council was posted on Thursday, October 25, 2007, on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. And Mr. Starbird?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this matter is related to item 2 on your agenda, which is a report and action at the request of Councilmember Draymond to rescind the action taken on October 6, 2007, and appropriate funds to secure professional executive search firm services for the Director of Finance recruitment. You had asked at your last meeting that this matter be placed on the agenda when we'd have a full council. We had anticipated we'd have a full council today, but obviously with Mr. Weaver's absence, we do not, so we'd request this matter be taken off and held over to your meeting of November 6.
Mr. Yusefian.
Mr. Mayor, I don't understand why we need to do this. What I was willing to move in that direction, except I had listened to Mr. Draymond's reasoning. That's why I didn't go there. I would like to hear Mr. Draymond's reasoning, and I may vote for this. So instead of just dragging this on, let's get on with it.
Mr. Draymond.
If I may, thank you, Councilmember Yusefian. My reasoning is as follows. I thought about it. I had more time to think about it. I have some, as you remember, the issue as originally presented combined both the the chief position as well as Director of Finance. And my concern is that I have specific concerns related to the position of locating a new fire chief, which I won't go into now because I think it is the incorrect place for that. However, with regard to the finance director, I believe that is a more specialized niche. I believe that it is a less a readily available, recognizable vacancy, unlike our fire department, which is a premier fire department, and word will go out very, very quickly, and has gone out quickly, that we are looking, and I am more concerned with regard to the finance director position. So I do believe that that is an area where we would benefit from the services of an executive search. I would add that I would like to see our city and I would like to see our colleagues and my colleagues entertain the notion of standardizing some of this so that we're not continually revisiting whether we go to an executive search firm or conduct something in-house. No, I don't mean in-house, looking in-house, but using our own personnel through HR to conduct these searches. But again, I believe that is an issue for another time. That's my reasoning, and that's the distinction I draw between the two, and my reason for asking for reconsideration.
Mr. Starbird.
Just a supplemental note, now that the matter's been taken up. The process can be performed in-house right now. And by the process, I mean the ads, the brochures, all of that we're very capable of doing. We have a very good graphics department. Matt Doyle is very good. His staff is very good. Frankly, what you buy with an executive search firm is you buy network and contacts and knowing who's out there. You buy a level of confidence by candidates that these recruitments will be held in confidence. Many people don't know Glendale. They may have heard of us, but people at this level, frankly, many don't want to apply if they think their name's going to be bannered around or get back to their employer. So you buy confidence. Primarily, you buy networking. That's why when Matt Doyle reviews proposals from firms, what he looks to is in the past several years, who's done the most of the recruitment that you're wanting to undertake, because they likely have the most contacts. They can go out and, frankly, beat the bushes, answer questions, give a level of confidence to candidates that they're going to be able to apply and at least get through that initial stage where they're at least part of the final applicant group, and it's going to be held in confidence as opposed to just a governmental agency that they may not know. Two is the executive search firm can speak very candidly with candidates about the lay of the land of the agency they're coming into, whether there's an in-house candidate and what their standing might be. Those are the kinds of things that if people don't know the answer to them, and they can't expect they'll necessarily get them from the HR department, many folks will just not apply. And in an area like finance, where you frankly have a very compacted market anyway, these people are not easy to come by. Having an executive who will go out and beat the bushes and contact the people that they know that might be interested and qualified is just an extra measure of being able to get a good group of candidates. So as I had mentioned earlier to Mr. Draymond in a conversation, that Glendale Fire does have a tremendous reputation throughout all of Southern California.
One of 28
Although I would still like to use an executive search from there, the fact that we're not doesn't give me quite as much concern as this position, just because, frankly, this is a tougher position to recruit for. And in many ways, the people that are in this line of work are many times less likely to be interested in making a move unless they've got some confidence that, one, things will be held in confidence, and two, many times an executive search firm can give them some insights that HR and we, frankly, just can't. So it is a very good tool for making sure you've got a good body of candidates to choose from. Won't ensure success, but it's a better measure to help you get there.
I have not yet read it, and if the mayor would like,
I think I actually read it into the record as we took it up.
Okay, well,
Mr. Quintero.
I don't buy it, but specifically, you keep talking, Mr. Sarbert, you keep talking about that somehow the staff is not going to, I don't know what words you're using, is not going to be quiet, that somehow it's going to leak out. How can that be? We have a trained human resources administrator who's been with us for years. We have personnel analysts. I mean, you keep talking about that it somehow might leak out. I disagree. I just think that we don't need to do this, not for finance or anything else. I'll say it again, with all of the professional associations that all of the staff belongs to, with the internet postings, with the fact that the city of Glendale is a premier city here in Southern California, I just don't think we need it. And incidentally, I have a feeling that most of the applicants are in fact going to come from the state of California. I can't imagine that there's going to be too many applicants from out of state. So that's why I'm voting no, as I have from the beginning.
Mr. Starbird, did you have your hand up? No. Okay. So I will entertain either a motion at 2A or a motion to continue. Mr. Yusefian.
As you know, last time I was willing to separate these two items, and I was convinced by my colleague not to do that. I will change my vote, and I do agree with Mr. Quintero on one thing. I hate to say this, but there is no such thing as things leaking out. I can tell you I already know people who are applying for GWP, and it has already leaked out. So there's no such thing as leaking out. We do not live in the Iron Curtain, so things get out. Whether you let the people out, or our people let it out, or the applicant themselves let it out. So it does leak out. I'm not worried about any of the leakage issues. To me, I will vote for this because my wife used to work my ex-wife used to work in a banking business. And there is something about headhunters in banking and finance. They know everyone. They go and actually ask certain individuals to consider making a move, even though they were not even considering at all. And so that becomes important, because if we put an ad out there in this type of finance administration type of thing, people are not going to be looking for that because they're not really looking for a job. They're not looking to move. The only time you get those individuals that are highly sought after is if you have a headhunter who has a personal relationship with some of these people, calls them and tells them, by the way, do you know that there's this job opening and there's this, and then somehow convincing that individual that this may be a good move for them and they have the expertise that we're looking for, and so on and so forth. So that's why I felt like going that direction that way, but after hearing my colleagues, I kind of backed off. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll move item on 2A
first,
and
the rescission.
2B.
I think we need to do the
Do we do
rescission.
them one at a time, or can we do both of them?
Take up the matter of the reconsideration.
Probably better to move on the motion to rescind first, and then
Okay.
you can move on the resolution
Okay,
to appropriate.
2A.
It's already been read into the record, so
Yes, is there a second for 2A?
It's your request. So
well, I don't know that I can second my own request, can I?
It's just a request.
Then I will second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Council members Ramey,
Yes.
Quintero,
No.
Weaver, Yusefian,
Aye.
Mayor Najarian.
Yes.
Move to B.
Is there a second?
Yes. Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Raymond,
Yes.
Quintero,
No.
Weaver, Yusefian,
Aye.
Mayor Najarian.
Yes. Mr. Starbird.
And, Mr. Mayor, can I just clarify myself for a second? Actually, Mr. Yusefian's description of his view of the value is exactly what I was trying to state about the primary purpose of an executive search firm. Two is, I don't have any concerns about HR's ability to keep things confidential. What I do get concerned about is what candidates out there might perceive, not actually what happens in our system. And frankly, whether it's kept confidential or not, if there's a perception they can deal with one person, who frankly many of them know through the contacts that Mr. Yusefian has described, they will have a little more confidence to get straight answers to the questions they might ask, and hope that although it is difficult to keep a secret, that they can have a little more confidence in the one executive search person who'll be looking at them at least until they get past that initial screening. So that was my point. I don't lack any confidence in all in HR's abilities to both run a good recruitment as well as to keep things in confidence.
Move to adjourn, Mr. Mayor.
Before we adjourn, is anyone interested in requesting and agendizing a rescission of the fire chief recruitment? Okay. We have a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Well,
No?
You don't want to adjourn? You
no,
want
I do want to adjourn. Never mind.
Thank you.
We'll take that as a second.
Yes, take it as yes. I want to adjourn.